Okay, so let's start with light. Possibly the most important factor in regulating your body clock. Light and temperature are definitely the top two. So we're going to talk about how we can improve our circadian rhythm using light first. First of all, we are exposed to too much artificial light and not enough sunshine. Most of us, not all of us. But we really need to flip that script. We need to turn it around. And the ways that we can do that are by, first of all, watching the sunrise or just getting outside in the sunshine first thing when you wake up. Studies show that the specific rays of light that are in the sunrise are beneficial to your circadian rhythm. Not to mention good for the soul, but it activates certain cells in your body that set your cortisol pulse for the day. So getting that sunshine in first thing in the morning is super important. Another thing would be just making sure you're outside in the morning before like 9 a.m. is ideal for about 10-ish minutes. If you can do more, great. Or if it's only a couple minutes, totally fine. Do what you can. But the studies show that getting about 100,000 lux, which is like the measurement for light, getting about 100,000 lux before 9 a.m. is really beneficial to your circadian rhythm. If you're like, what? How do I know how many lux I'm getting? There's actually this really cool app called Light Meter, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But you want to make sure that you can at least get, 2 minutes minimum, but 10, 20 would be great. We're going to also want to make sure that throughout the day, if you are on screens a lot, that you are wearing partial blue blockers. And the reason I say partial is because we don't want to get rid of blue light altogether, okay? Blue light is good. Blue light is in the sunshine. So we don't want to block all of it. But blue light in isolation is not ideal, which we'll talk about more in a minute. But you do want to get some sort of blue blockers that are filtering about 30% of the blue light from screens. BlueBlox is my favorite brand, and they are, scientifically, they're studied, they're science-based, and they have these computer glasses. I actually have them right here, that filter about 30% of that blue light. So I'll give you guys a link for that as well, which you can get a discount with my code. But you want to make sure you're filtering blue light throughout the day, so we're not just getting blue light in isolation. It can cause, headaches, circadian rhythm disruption, all kinds of things. Another thing you can do is put on night shift mode on your phone during the day. That is something that is just always on my phone no matter what. I never have the regular blue light on my phone. So that's another way. There are also these apps that you can put on your computer to help with that blue light, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. Okay, next. So we've watched the sunrise, or at least gotten outside early. We're wearing blue blockers when needed. And then throughout the day, you definitely want to get outside at least one time in the middle of the day. If you can get out every couple hours, that would be even better. But you want to get out and get as much sun as you can tolerate, and frequently. And we don't want to be wearing sunscreen, sunglasses, that kind of thing. We want to just get unfiltered sunshine for as much as you can tolerate, which we'll talk about more later. But getting out frequently just tells your body, hey, it's still daytime. We should be awake, keeps your cortisol at an appropriate level, and just keeps that circadian rhythm on track with the light. Another thing would be watching the sunset, so very similar to the sunrise. There are specific rays in the sunset that tell your body, hey, okay, it's the day's ending, it's time to start producing melatonin, cortisol can go down, and it helps your body to kind of wind down for the day. After dark, you definitely want to be wearing full blue light blockers, okay? So these are those orange lenses that you see, and they block 100% of light from 400 to 550 nanometers. And if you're like, I don't even know what that is, that's why I'm going to give you a link to BlueBlox, because they, again, have really done their research. Their products have been tested and they actually block what they say they block, unlike some of the products that you might see on Amazon for a lot cheaper. So they are an investment for sure, but they actually work. Even when you're not using a screen though, you definitely want to be wearing those after dark, because things like your lamps, your overhead lights, your fridge, your smoke detector, everything produces blue light. So all of those can affect your circadian rhythm and kind of make your melatonin production slow down. So definitely invest in a good pair of blue blockers. And then this goes probably without saying, but don't scroll, especially in bed. It's probably the worst thing you can do before you fall asleep. So, some management around our light hygiene will do wonders. Some other things you can invest in are blackout shades, blackout curtains, and a sleep mask, because even when our eyes are closed, there's still some light that can get in, right, through our eyelids. They're not that heavy, right? So we want to make sure that we're protecting our eyes from light so we can get good quality sleep. One thing I thought was super interesting, there was actually a study where they, people were sleeping and they walked into a room and they held up some sort of light in the room. And they actually found out that there was a 50% increase in the people's blood sugar when the blue light was shown to them during sleep. So pretty crazy that you actually have an insulin, a bodily response to that blue light even when you're sleeping.